something that can revolutionize my life. Give me a platform to walk into my destiny. That's why we have sanctuary cities like churches and things of this sort. Things that are being built according to the patterns and the protocols. Kingdom. Amen. Oh, glory, glory, glory. I love the Lord. I don't know about y'all. I love him. I live for him and all that good stuff. My life ain't mine. You know, everything that I do is centered on him. Amen. I know a song some time ago, he makes the world go around. He makes my world go around. Sometimes he turns it upside down, but when he gets done, he turns it right side up. And, you know. But anyhow, Joshua the 3rd chapter says, I've already set the discourse for this teaching, so I'm not going to I just want to really get to the meats and the bones of this particular thought. Some gravy and potatoes on this morning. Tell your neighbor it's good to have some gravy and potatoes. It's not going to be your regular side dish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to go at verse, let's go to verse 5. Actually 4. You know, all of these conjunctions get me sometimes. But I want to make sure I give you the full context of what I'm about to say. All right? Well, verse 3. Okay? Lord. Yeah. You pretty much don't want to anyway, right? Let's go to 1. And Joshua rose early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim, and came to Jordan, and he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there. I'm just being a good Baptist. Lodged there before they passed over. So there was an intention to what? Pass over. I know it's December. How many days we got left in this year? Anybody know? Today's the 3rd, so how many days left? 28. So we got 28 days left, right? 4 weeks. And we can use this as a backdrop. And verse 2, and it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host. We already specified and we dialogued about that, what the officers are and the different 3 components to this, Joshua, the officer, and the priest. We won't spend time on that. And they commanded the people, saying, when you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, carrying it, having the responsibility of the ark, and all of its content, and all of its representation, both historically and prophetically, right? He said, when you see it upon them, then, somebody say then. Then. Not beforehand, then. When you see the priest with the responsibility to carry the presence of God, then, what happens then? In the verse, y'all, there's no prophetic thing. Then you shall remove from your place. So we're going to talk about that. Remove him from your place for what? To go after it. I almost got tempted to just specify go after it because we're after a lot of stuff. Some of us are after this and after that. And, you know, and we have a large list of things that we would like to do as we embark on 2024. So I know your list is probably growing as the days go by. Looking for resolutions, right? I mean, some of us are after peace. We're after some things. But I'm here to tell you there's some things we need to really be after. Tell your neighbor, really be after. I'm not talking about how you feel or what you think. There are some things that God has pre-assigned to you, or should I say pre-assigned for you, so that you can get to that prepared place. It's a place that he's prepared for you. Tell your neighbor there's a place for you. Yeah, but you will never discover the place that he has for us if we won't remove from the place where we presently are. Tell your neighbor, there's a place that God has prepared for you. See, you got to understand, you know, this behind me, this placard that's been on the wall for a while, is not just some cute thought that I manipulated to try to conjure up to entice you to a course of action. This actually came out of my belly, right here. You know, what does it say? Our what? Our destiny is what? Forward, right? We're not looking back, we're forward-minded, right? We have anticipation to move into our destiny, right? And what does the other part say? Our future is what? Prophetic. I believe if you're going to go to your future, you need a prophetic voice. You need prophetic instruction. You need a prophetic plan. You need a prophetic strategy. You need a prophetic unction. Everything connected to prophetic is necessary for you to possess or enter, even have the possibilities to go into your future, right? And for that to happen, most of us live our lives in a quandary. We live our lives in a stalemate. We find ourselves in an intersection. You know, there's an intersection between where God is calling you to go after and where you are right at this moment as it relates to your state of mind. And I'm not talking about your money, I'm talking about you, the part of you that nobody else can see, the private you that only you and God know, the blind spots, everything about you, right? Yeah. But God is asking us that we got to remove from our place, right? Some people trying to remove some things from our lives, but you need to move from that place, that position. The things you're fixated on, right? Your surroundings, your environment. Sometimes it's cultural things. Sometimes it's religious things. But God is asking us to remove from our place because I'm here to tell you this morning, the intersection to your next level is the paradox of your present situation. That's a paradox right now. Most of us in a paradox. We're trying to figure out, am I going to bust a move? I'm going to just go back to what I've always done. And, you know, and I'm hearing the messages, it's sounding loud, it's clear to the point, but am I really capable of making the transition from where I've been to where God is calling me to? And most of the times we're so critical of ourselves and we're depending in the arm of our own flesh that we haven't understood or took the possibility that God can do things that you can't do. I'm going to tell you, there's some things you can't do. I know you've been a loose cannon. I know you've been a free thinker. We got a lot of them, especially with the platforms we have, all the social medias. Everybody's an expert. So come on now, everybody's an expert. I mean, you ain't got to go to the doctor. You can Google it. You ain't got to get your car. You ain't got to take your car to the shop. You can Google it. There's so many. You can heal your marriages by Google it. Everything is at your fingertips, right? All the geniuses. We got more. You talking about billionaires? We got more geniuses in the earth now. Cluttered with information, and we're heavy with information, but yet we're starving for knowledge. We're drowning in information, and we're starving for legitimate knowledge, not just information. God wants us to move from our place. Why would he want us to move? To shift, to look over, to be highly analytical of our present state of mind. I'm here to tell you, everybody that's in this building, those that's watching us on YouTube, I'm trying to tell you guys, this is the hour that our revelation will be matched by our demonstration. And most of you guys feel like, well, I'm frustrated, I don't know what's going on in my life, and I just don't have the tool that's necessary to perform at the optimum capacity as it relates to the words and instructions I'm receiving. And I'm trying to internalize all the information, but I'm here to tell you this is the hour that your revelation and your demonstration must come into fruition. We have a lot of church, they just talky, but they don't walky. We got so many spiritual parents. It's sickening to me when I hear people who are convoluted with information, but their life is not a testimony to what they're hearing. And they have not removed from that place. I'm not going to point nobody out. Y'all getting tight. I can feel it in the spirit. Y'all know. Y'all know how it is. Right? But we're out of balance. There should be more things going on. There should be some tangible changes. There should be such a witness and a conviction in our hearts. Tell your neighbor there should be a witness in your heart. That witness is a conviction that God is speaking to you and declaring you this is the way walking in. Were you fully persuaded about what the Father is saying? You know, he's he's articulated the messages. I don't know if y'all know that. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, we're out of balance because we just mostly just talk. We got all the language and the lingo of Christianity. We can flip different words around, and most of the people come to church, they just come to glean and gather. So they can have their own little group, and they can just feed them. And that's the delusion. Because we think if we can give out, that we got it. No, 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 no. If you don't live in what you know, you don't have it. I know it's heavy. It's not a deep word. Because the gospel is to be lived out. It ain't supposed to be discussed. It's supposed to be demonstrated. And your life should be changing according to the content that you receive. And as you change, your capacity to learn and grow changes. By what? The content. And you got to be able to process it. Rightly divide the word. And as you begin to rightly divide the word, God starts speaking to you. And He start guiding and leading you. He'll start sifting and sorting through your life. There's some things that we carry that's unnecessary. There are some burdens and some things that is unnecessary. There's some things operating in our life that are unnecessary for your next season. And that is the paradox. How do I make that change? How do I seize the moment? How can I really be a root out of dry ground? How can my plowman overtake the reaper? I'm here to tell you, new covenant people need to know that. The plowman can't overtake the reaper. You can sow a seed, you can get into the presence of God, you can pray, you can read, and God will honor your commitment to study and being disciplined in your practice. In your orthopraxy, right practice. You're just not orthodoxy, just right believing. We got a lot of right believing, but our practice has brought an imbalance to us. And the Bible says a false balance is an abomination to God. Am I right? We should exemplify our faith. Works is proof positive that we've connected correctly in our faith. Works are just an analogy, anomaly or analogy to fruit. Fruit and works, same thing. Fruit and works. So you got to look at your life. Do I have fruit? Sometimes we don't have it because we refuse to walk in the truth. When we refuse to walk in the truth that we heard and been exposed to, then we choose our own delusions and we become a product of our own environment. Consequently, we find ourselves in the mercy of our circumstances. Our Father would want us to have the upper hand. We can't just say we're the head and not the tail. Above and not beneath. The enemy gonna come in what? One way, he's gonna flee what? 7. It sounds good, right? It sounds good on paper. It'd be like, man,